Good morning, everybody. Come on, this is a big day. Good morning, everybody. All right, I am very excited to be here this morning. I'm just finishing up my 4th month as superintendent of the San Francisco Unified School District, and this is my second shovel-ready project. So look at how much gets done under my administration, right? No, but this is a project that really is a long time coming to the Mission Bay and to this area. And we're really proud to be standing here today to commemorate the beginning of development activities for the newest school in the San Francisco Unified School District, the Mission Bay School. Yeah. And what's so exciting about not just the state-of-the-art building that's coming here, but the educational access this school will provide by partnering with UCSF and other science organizations in this area. So just Tuesday, I was visiting an elementary school, and I was in a 4th grade classroom where students were learning about anatomy and about the immune system. And I gotta say, this one 4th grader explained brilliantly how antibodies work, making an analogy to a garbage truck cleaning out the system. And this is the kind of education our students are getting in San Francisco Unified. But what they're gonna get at Mission Bay are not just lessons on anatomy, but then they're going to have the opportunity to go to UCSF's hospital and explore and actually be in the hospital, be in labs, and work with scientists to really learn and understand anatomy and science and what it means and what it could mean to enter into a profession like the medical profession or the science profession. And those are the kind of opportunities we want to provide to each and every student in the San Francisco Unified School District. And this Mission Bay school will do that, not just through the elementary school, but also by being a learning hub. And that's what's so innovative about this project, that the 4th floor is going to be a learning hub for our students and older students to come down and have these different experiences and have these real hands-on experiences. And today's the Shovel Ready, our Shovel Ready event. And so, you know, it's going to be a while before we're back here, before we actually do the ribbon cutting. But in the meantime, we're not waiting for that learning hub to go into action. And so there were some activities here this morning, and we're going to be starting in January with students from our high schools engaging activities with UCSF and with other organizations. And so just really proud that we're able to move forward with this project and have both our PK5 elementary school here and our 4th floor with the STEM-focused Link Learning Hub. And so with that, I want to bring up our next speaker, because so I've been here 4 months, but I know there have been people who've been working for years on making this project happen. And so I want to bring up a few of them to talk. First, we'll hear from Assembly Member Matt Haney.
All right, well, this is an exciting day, right? Yeah. Let's just give a huge round of applause to everyone who made this the future site of the Mission Bay School. This will be the first new elementary school in over 20 years in San Francisco. And anytime we are investing in our future and investing in our kids is a proud day for our city. But this is a community that has needed this school for a long time. Over 2 decades ago, the city and UCSF recognized that this neighborhood would need a school. And it put aside this land for a future site of a school. If only it was that easy to just then have it built. This has been a journey of determination, of never giving up, of supporting this vision and doing all of the hard work that it took to make this happen. We know that many of us came together now about 8 years ago to bring forward a resolution at the Board of Education to make that commitment to actually see this school built. And I want to acknowledge some of the people who are part of that, including my former colleagues on the Board of Education, now President of the Board of Supervisors, Shaman Walton, who's here, former Commissioner on the school board, Hydra Mendoza, who was a part of that, And that commitment then led to this journey that got us here. We had a 2016 facilities bond that folks fought to get the resources to actually build this school. We came together with the city and UCSF to come to agreement to have this land sent to the district. And throughout that process, the people who were at the center of it were the residents of Mission Bay. There was a small and mighty group, the Mission Bay Task Force, that came together as a group. I want to acknowledge some of them. Bruce, Sarah, Toby, Sue, Bettina, everyone who was a part of that effort who's a Mission Bay resident, please raise your hand so we can give you a round of applause. So these folks were determined. They came together and said, look, this is a neighborhood that is growing faster than any other in our city. Every day you walk around this neighborhood, you see strollers, you see new families moving in, and the most important part of a family-friendly city was missing, and that is a public school. And that was true 10 years ago, and it's even more true now. If you look behind us, much of this housing was not here 10, 20 years ago. This has become one of San Francisco's family neighborhoods, and now it will be much more complete with its own elementary school. There are a couple other folks that I do want to acknowledge. I want to acknowledge the superintendent, Dr. Wayne. I also want to acknowledge two people who, from within the district, fought like heck to get this done, and that's Don and Carissa. We'll give them a round of applause for their leadership. I got calls from them again and again saying, we need your help, we need you back pushing for this. And I also want to acknowledge Eric Rice, who I know is helping to lead some of the linked learning that's going to happen here, and all of the SFUSD staff. I see so many of you here. We have great public schools, and this will be another great public school for our city. I want to acknowledge the educators who are here, including United Educators of San Francisco, who have been strong supporters of this project. The Board of Education, President Lamb, thank you for seeing this through. When people were running for the school board and they'd come and talk to me about supporting them, I would tell them, I only care about two things. One, you make sure every kid in San Francisco has a great high quality education, and you build that school in Mission Bay. So I want to thank them for their support and their commitment and their determination. And this school will not only be for Mission Bay, it will be for all of San Francisco. It will uplift the opportunities for every young person in our city. And so this is something that we celebrate together for the entire city and county of San Francisco. I also want to thank the people who will actually build this school, our construction workers back there. If you'll give them a round of applause for the hard work that they're going to do. Once we do the photo to break the ground, they actually come here and build this thing, and it is a beautiful, beautiful school. This was a community effort. It was a joint effort. It was such a beautiful sign of what we can accomplish when we set our eyes on something and we see it through. I also want to thank our current supervisor, Matt Dorsey, who's here as well, for his continued support of this school. We are right now on UCSF land that will soon be city and school district land. And that process could not have happened without the strong commitment from UCSF and their partnership, not only to make sure that this would come to the school district, but also that the future of this school would be one where we truly took advantage of all of the opportunities that are here in this neighborhood, in our city, in terms of the learning that our young people will be able to access. And so the person who has been at the center of that, leading the work of what will be the fourth floor of the Link Learning Lab at the Mission Bay School is the UCSF Vice Chancellor, Renee Navarro. If you'll please welcome Renee Navarro. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, Supervisor. It's such a pleasure to be here today, and on behalf of our Chancellor, Sam Hawgood, I want to welcome all of you to UCSF. I'm Dr. Renee Navarro, and I serve as the Vice Chancellor for the Office of Diversity and Outreach, where we're focused on diversity, equity, inclusion, and anti-racism. We're focused on everybody having an opportunity to show up, do their best, excel, and be a part of the future. I'm also a professor of anesthesiology and perioperative care. I'm so excited about this because education, for me, that's the key. You know, I'm a little girl from Mobile, Alabama, who never even dreamed of the fact that I could be a physician. Never saw a black woman physician until I was, well into my 20s. And for me now to be here to welcome you to this outstanding opportunity on our campus as the first black woman to be a vice chancellor at UCSF in our 150-year history, I'm excited. I'm excited about the power of education and about the power of this institution to transform lives. And so we are just so thrilled to be welcoming the San Francisco Unified School District to our Mission Bay campus. Many of our own faculty, students, staff, and our learners live in this community, and they're excited their children will have an opportunity to attend this school. We are so proud of our long history with San Francisco Unified School District. Since 1999, the UCSF Center for Science, Education, and Outreach, which is led by Don Woodson, and part of the Office of Diversity and Outreach, they have provided all kinds of programs to support student academic success, increase college-going rates, and exploration of STEM and health science careers for students and for the schools that we serve. Through the center, UCSF has committed itself to local students with valuable experiences and to preparing a health science workforce that will represent the rich diversity of our community. The Linked Learning Mission Bay Hub aligns with our commitment to the community and is an important step in diversifying the health and the biotech workforce. The Center for Science and Education Outreach has been deeply involved in the development of this Mission Bay vision, and our students, our residents, faculty, and staff have served as design partners with you, working closely with student ambassadors to dream a bold vision for the student experience. In the future, we imagine Mission Bay Hub students contributing to fields of pediatrics, aging, food science, sports medicine, neurology, oncology, and countless other areas where UCSF has engagement. I'm confident that they'll bring fresh perspectives, new questions, and thoughtful ideas and innovative solutions. UCSF will also provide students with authentic, meaningful, and challenging experience to complement the hub through internships, opportunities to job shadow, and access to a robust learning community of passionate researchers, practitioners, and clinicians. UCSF's Science and Educational Partnership has partnered with the San Francisco Unified School District for over 30 years. We have volunteers teaching science lessons in the K-12 classrooms. We provide teacher training workshops in summer for science teachers, summer research programs for students coming into our UCSF labs, and career days in science, medicine, and in research. Over 90% of the San Francisco Unified School Districts have benefited from this program. In addition, many of our clinical programs are also working with the San Francisco Unified School District, particularly psychiatry and pediatrics. Our psychiatry department has provided for Fuerte, the school-based prevention program, which targets newcomers, Latinx youth who are at risk of traumatic stress and related disorder. Our Voices Substance Use Intervention Program is another great program. Our Schwab Dyslexic Center, working with our elementary schools to improve access to behavioral health services. And the Hearts Program is a long-standing collaboration with San Francisco Unified School District to address trauma and chronic stress for students, staff, and the school as a whole. We aim to increase instructional time and decrease time spent on disciplinary actions. Also, the Opportunities for All. We participate in Mayor Breed's Opportunities for All internship program by providing your students with hands-on experiences in behavioral health and mental health under the guidance of our UCSF clinicians. In 2021, UCSF signed an MOU with San Francisco Unified School District to advise the district on how to reopen campuses safely during the COVID-19 pandemic, led by pediatricians from the UCSF Collaborative to advise on reopening education safely, the CARES program. We're delighted to be in community with you. This has been very fruitful, exciting work, and we look forward to many, many more years of partnership with San Francisco Unified School District. Welcome to the neighborhood. Thank you. It's now my pleasure to welcome to the podium San Francisco Board of Education President Jenny Lam.
Good morning. It is so wonderful to be here with you all this morning. My daughter first entered SF Unified in 2009. And at that time, we started hearing inklings as a new SFUSD parent about the emerging discussion around the expansion, the potential for building a new school in Mission Bay. Fast forward 13 years later, here we are. Here we are to beginning that vision, to making that dream a reality. It truly has been a badge of honor to raise children in San Francisco. And it has been the Mission Bay community that has stood by the school district, that has consistently pushed to ensure that this city is truly a city for families and for children to thrive. My name is Jenny Lam. I'm the San Francisco Board of Education President, and it is such an honor and privilege. There are so many people to thank who've been on this journey with us for almost 2 decades. And this is what happens when you have an assembly member who's a former Board of Education member. He got to thank so many of our partners, but first and foremost, I want to extend a deep thanks to our staff. Our head of facilities, Don Kabanathan, to Clarissa Yee. You have our staff, and so many of our staff and educators work tirelessly for our students. And really, this could not have happened without them. I also want to acknowledge Chancellor Hawgood for really being there for SFUSD as well. I want, at these shovel-ready events, oftentimes it is truly of coming together as a community and celebrating. But there were times when we weren't sure if this was really going to be reality. And I see Bruce too. Those conversations we had that said we have to push through. We have to make this a reality. The community has fought for this for far too long. You've heard about how the Mission Bay School is the first in over a decade to be building a school from the ground up. And this is what excites me as the board president, that this is truly what is possible for San Francisco when we come together around a shared vision, when we come around embracing innovation, and that we are so clear about what it is that is our mission, which is to provide world-class, high-quality education for each and every student, no matter what zip code, what neighborhood they live and come from. And it is our commitment from the San Francisco Board of Education to do so. Just this past Tuesday, we approved a 5-year goals for our students. That includes literacy, math, college and career preparedness. And to me, Mission Bay School embodies all 3 of those, and the innovation of the partnerships that are going to make that a reality, because we know at San Francisco Unified School District, we cannot do this work by ourselves, and we know our community and our city is with us each and every day. So Mission Bay School will be a community for students, staff, and partners to learn and collaborate. And I am so thrilled about the professional learning lab that is also going to be available to our educators, because we hear from our educators how valuable time to collaborate, time to reflect, and to be able then to continue strengthening their teaching and instruction in their classrooms that they do so well. And we're just thrilled around that advancement of that teaching and learning instruction. I'm also honored to see our young people and our students here who've been part of the Link Learning Lab already. And I've also got to participate and observe those Link Learning Lab sessions. And I want to also thank Eric Rice and his team for the innovation to thinking differently and centering our students, hearing from them directly, from our students around what is it going to keep them engaged in their learning, what opportunities that they absolutely deserve, and not just the educational space, but in the workforce space. And we have the strongest partners of UCSF to connecting our young people, either be internships, exposure to their careers, and for my heartfelt thank you, because I know personally the connections that the staff members have made to our students. So if you can't tell just how thrilled, excited I am to begin this work on the mission-based school, and look forward to welcoming our first students to SFUSD's newest school in 2025. And yes, thank you to our construction workers to making that happen on time. We will continue to strive for making that happen. And again, thank you so very much for your critical partnership all these years. I also want to recognize the mayor, Mayor Breed, and also her team and the real estate department, and helping lend that expertise when things got really tough to continue pushing that we all made it to the finish line. So thank you again for your commitment and making this dream a reality. And now I have the great honor to introduce our supervisor, Matt Dorsey, for District 6.
Thanks so much, everybody. So as the District 6 supervisor for a little over 5 months, I realize I am the Rosie Ruiz of the Mission Bay Elementary School. And for those of you who don't know that obscure reference, Rosie Ruiz in 1980 was declared the winner of the Boston Marathon until they found out that she jumped into the race a half mile before the finish line. So there was a marathon to get this to where we are today. And it is great to be a supervisor who's going to continue to support this work, but I really do want to acknowledge all the leadership of all the people who made this a reality. And I think nobody more so than my predecessor, Assemblymember Matt Haney, who was a champion for this on the school board, my colleague, President Shimon Walton, Hydra Mendoza, everybody, many of the people who have been thanked, Jenny Lamb and others, but I do want to give a special shout out, if I could use a little bit of my 2 minutes, to the people who didn't draw a salary, but who did the work on this. From the steering committee, and that's Bruce Agid, Toby Levine, Sarah Davis, Sarah Bertram, Bettina Cohen, Harvey Brody, Ben Summers, Rick Garcia, Ephraim Beiser, Matthew Steen, Pam Lewis, Sam Moss, Kiki Vo, Carlos Albaneda, Ruby Zuniga, and Shauna Horowitz. Just the community has been so instrumental in this. You know, if there's a neighborhood that in District 6 that I feel is like a stomping ground for me over the years, it's Mission Bay. Back in the .com era, I worked at 185 Barry Street for a firm when that was one of the only buildings, and this was a place where there was a golf driving range and there was some RV parking. And to watch this neighborhood come up, and then over the last couple of years before my appointment to the board, I worked at the Public Safety Building and saw what this was becoming. And it's such an honor to represent this district and to see what it's going to become. This has been, like we talked about, decades in the making, but I was also around San Francisco long enough to remember that Mission Bay was started as an idea in the Frank Jordan administration when UCSF was looking to expand its footprint in the Parnassus area, and they were really running out of space. And the Jordan administration said, why don't you go to Mission Bay, and we'll create something of a life sciences community that really makes San Francisco a global competitor in a way that for years to come. And I think we're seeing that with Mission Bay Elementary School and the Linked Learning Hub with STEM education. So we're fulfilling the promise of something that we've been working on for decades. But at the end of the day, I want to make sure that everybody is thanked, and especially the construction workers, including our young apprentice construction workers here who are already getting started. This is always about the community. It is about our global competitiveness with STEM, but really more than anything, it's about the kids. And it's about the kids who are here playing and who are going to get their education. And as part of that, it is my honor to hand off to a young man who I recall as a 7-year-old back with my friend Gladys Soto's son, William Holder Soto, from the Mission Bay Hub student and ambassador, to say a few words. Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is William Holder Soto. I'm currently a senior at Mission High School, born and raised in SF and first generation Peruvian American. I'm excited to talk a little bit about the Mission Bay Hub. As some of you may know, the Mission Bay campus will not only house an elementary school, but a high school level program as well. I had the privilege of being one of 11 student ambassadors that took part in the Mission Bay Hub pilot program. Me and other students from underrepresented backgrounds worked at the Mission Bay at different locations, from Genentech Hall to the Chase Center. In the early stages, instead of learning about the Mission Bay Hub, we held brainstorming sessions and reflected on the strengths and faults of our own schools. Students quickly felt comfortable sharing their experiences to not only each other, but Mission Bay partners from UCSF, Invite, Kaiser, and even the Golden State Warriors. Without knowing it, we were actually informing the school's value system years before its opening. Us working on-site and collaborating with nearby research centers mirrored what we believe the future program will accomplish, providing students with unique access to industry lab equipment, scientists, and a campus that breeds creativity and passion. Sorry. In designing the school, we pictured a place where students go to decide their own curriculums, learn from each other, and inspire generations to come. I also want to say the work of Mission Bay residents and the community at large has been relentless, and it reassures me that education remains a priority. Today, let's cherish this win, and tomorrow, let's get back to work. Thank you.
I always love hearing from our students. They really tell us and share with us what we need to do as an education system. And so we're almost ready to shovel some dirt, if there's some dirt left. Looks like it's been pretty well shoveled. But and you know, in the San Francisco Unified School District, we have our values as a district. And they spell out SFUSD, and the first one is student-centered, and you can hear how this project is truly a student-centered project driven by some of the ideas from our students. The second one is fearless, and clearly we heard this morning that many in the city have had to be fearless to push forward with this project. And then the third is united, and that's what's so neat about being here. And something that I know our Board of Education and myself really value is being united and serving the students of San Francisco. And so when we have so many representatives here, you see what happens when everybody can come together and be united to make something special happen for our students. And someone who we've been able to work with closely in the district and appreciate her partnership is here with us today. And so our final speaker before we shovel some dirt is our Mayor, London Breed.
All right. How exciting it is to be back in Mission Bay again. I was just here the other day, in fact. And what's so great about being here and coming to this neighborhood more and more is seeing the significant changes that have happened here. Over 25 years ago, this was just empty space, a rail yard, and really underutilized. And I know that Supervisor Dorsey mentioned the whole golf driving range, which I know there were a few people that weren't very happy that that left, but look at what it's become. I remember serving on the Redevelopment Agency Commission when a lot of the conversations were happening about housing and opportunities, and look at how far we've come. We just opened Mission Creek Park, which I know many of the folks who are neighbors in this area are truly happy that that fence finally came back down after a lot of bureaucracy. So thank you, Supervisor Dorsey. And I know that since the 25 years ago that we are now in a really great place where we've built over 6,000 units, 1,500 of those units affordable, 25 acres of open park space, UCSF and its renowned research institution and school and the work that they do, and now their support of providing this space for a brand new school that has been talked about for many, many years. And I know there's so many former school board members here too, because I know each of them have, a stake in this and wanting to see this done, including Hydra Mendoza and Matt Haney, who went from school board to supervisor to assemblyman, and even our current president of the Board of Supervisors, Shaman Walton, and our current school board member. So many folks who have been a part of wanting to see this happen, but no one wanted to see it happen more than the people who live in this community, who came together, who talked about what they wanted to see, not just creating a school of a traditional school, but how do we make it the kind of hub, the kind of place that will serve the community, our elementary school, our preschool, our high school. How do we innovate and work with organizations like Mission Bay Hub? And I'm so proud of William and getting up here and speaking. And I've known him since he was a little kid, and look at him now. And I had a chance to meet Issa and folks from the program, and looking forward to the work that they're going to do with high school students right here in Mission Bay. And also the partnership with UCSF. It's not just about providing the land, but it's like, how do you make the connection to these incredible institutions with their amazing research that has already changed the world to a certain extent, a reason why San Francisco did so well during a global pandemic. People came to San Francisco for expertise and support, and it's because of UCSF and all of these extraordinary people, and seeing a direct connection between this school and these kids who grow up in this school, having an opportunity to serve and to work in the neighborhood that they grew up in various capacities. And who knows, maybe we'll have a star playing at Chase Center for the Warriors one day that comes right out of Mission Bay School. So much possibility, so much hope. This is a real neighborhood filled with a lot of very wonderful people who have been really patient as development has occurred. And this is just bringing us one step further to meeting the goals and the promises that have been made to Mission Bay to truly create a community of housing, office, research, grocery stores. I just came from Gus's Market on my way here. Great restaurants. And now finally, to add icing on the cake, along with the Chase Arena and the concerts and the games, we have a school that's going to serve the kids of this community to make sure that the next generation gets the education they need to be prepared for the future. So thank you all for participating in this. And at this time, I think we're going to turn some shovels and basically launch the beginning of what is going to be, I think, one of the best schools in our city. Thank you all so much for being here today.